Oh boy, this is gonna be good, I know it. Hey everyone, it's Kenji. I'm going to make a cheesesteak, but a little different than a normal cheesesteak. So this is actually now the third time I've attempted this. Well, let's start with what we're doing first. Okay, so I went to the Chinese supermarket and went to the hot pot section, and there I found some sliced A5 Wagyu ribeye, as well as some sliced chuck roll, just regular old Wagyu chuck roll, not A5, not grated that way. But you can see lots and lots of fat. So typically, cheesesteak is made with very, very thinly sliced ribeye, and when you make it, you put it on a griddle. Let's see if this griddle's hot enough. You put it on a griddle, and then you kind of chop it up and you move it around. And what ends up happening is that it might brown a little bit, but mostly the meat kind of stews a little bit in its own juices. You finish it off with some cheese, you put it in a hoagie roll, and it tastes delicious. But when I was down in Oaxaca, I went to this restaurant called La Boveda, which was part of the hotel we were staying at, like a small hotel on the coast. And there we ate this carne asada taco that was really different from any carne asada taco I'd ever eaten. So the way the chef there made it, he started with thinly sliced ribeye, just like this, and then he put it on a plancha, like a griddle, and then he didn't move it, so it got almost like a smash burger type crust to it, and I thought it was extraordinarily delicious and really interesting. And then I started thinking to myself, well, like if that works for a carne asada taco, I wonder how well that would work for a burger. So the other day I made a burger by taking thinly sliced ribeye, shaping it into a patty shape, and just kind of smashing and searing it the way I would do a smash burger. And then I thought, well, if this works for a smash burger, then why wouldn't it work for a cheesesteak? So that's what I've been trying to do. The first couple of attempts worked just fine, but I didn't quite get the sort of cheese melting and the onion bits all exactly correct. So today I'm going to try one more time, and we'll try and correct some of the mistakes I made last time. So I do have a Vietnamese banh mi roll, which, I was already at the Chinese supermarket, and they had these, so I thought these would actually make a good substitute for a hoagie roll. So I'm going to cut off the ends here, and I'm just going to split it. Whew, that is crusty. Maybe we should use a proper bread knife for this, huh? All I did was reheat it in the toaster oven for a little bit, till it's nice and crusty on the outside, soft in the middle. All right, that's looking good for our bun. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of shape this meat into a thing that would sort of roughly fit the bun, kind of like that. Then I'm going to season it. A little mixture of salt and MSG. Let's also give it some freshly ground black pepper. Okay, and I got a really hot griddle here, so I'm just going to kind of plop this on there and press it down a little bit so that it gets really nice contact. We're going to get the edges down. So, very similar to how I would make a smashed burger patty, And we're just going to let that kind of sit there as it browns. And that A5 Wagyu is some real fatty stuff. Okay, so while that starts to sort of sear, I'm also going to take my onions and get them in that beef fat there. So just a regular yellow onion, kind of diced up, So those onions will also get some softening and browning on them. Let's make sure we season that second side also. So, unlike a normal cheesesteak where at this point I would start to kind of chop it up, use a couple spatulas, chop it up, flip things over, and cook it all the way through. This one I'm really just going to let it kind of sit to really develop a nice crunchy crust that's going to work its way into every single bite. The only other thing I'm going to stick on here are some of these Mama Lil hot peppers, a West Coast local specialty. Goldhorn peppers. These are the hot version. I always like some hot pickled peppers in my cheesesteak. These onions a little move around. Make sure they're softening up and kind of caramelizing nicely. You can do this in a skillet. I'm just doing it on this griddle because I find it a little bit easier to maneuver, and it's also kind of more reminiscent of an actual cheesesteak cooking setup. All right, we're getting pretty close here, I think. Let's see, let me give it a little peek underneath. Oops, I think we can go just a bit longer. The cheese we're using today, this is some of that, I think it's called New School American. You know, it's like a new, supposedly artisan-style American cheese. I've seen people using it, so I thought I'd give it a try. I'm not necessarily advocating for it. It just is what I happen to have on hand today. All right, so I think we've probably got a decent amount of browning on there now. Let's give it a little scrape up and see what we got, huh? Oh yeah, so look at all that beautiful browning, all that texture. All right, at this point, I'm gonna melt some cheese over it. Let's say 2.5 slices. Let me grab myself a second spatula here. Okay, and now that we have that really nice browning, I think I am gonna actually start chopping and folding. And having done this a couple times before, you know, my hope is that by doing it like this, which is starting it with the browning step, and then going into the more sort of traditional cheesesteak chopping and folding and getting all that cheese really gooey and melted in there, that we're gonna kind of end up getting the best of both worlds. We're looking good. Not shy in the cheese. Now, might as well throw in that last little bit, huh? Let me get those peppers in there too. I know some people say you should only put the peppers, you know, have the peppers on the side or stick them in there after the cheesesteak is constructed. I like putting them right in with the meat. I think it looks pretty and it tastes pretty. All right, I think we're looking pretty good there. Give it a final little scrape up, make sure we get all that crusty goodness there. Slop it in there. All right. Look at that. Let's give it a cut so we can see the cross section. Oh boy, this is going to be good. I know it. Woo. Hot damn. Now that's a good cheesesteak. It's got sort of all the qualities you want in a cheesesteak, you know, where it's gooey and tender, fatty, a nice crusty bun, a good combination of flavors and textures, but it has a deeper brown flavor, more umami, more complex. Whew. That cheese is pretty good on a cheesesteak, to be honest. All right. Shaved seared Wagyu cheesesteak. It's great. Guys, gals, non-binary pals. Later. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Head over to KenjiLopez-alt.com. There you can find links to join my Patreon. There's various tiers with different perks, but that's where you're going to find all of my printed recipes. Most of them are for free. You'll also get access to special perks like new product releases, early access to things, live streams, AMAs. At KenjiLopez-alt.com, you'll also find my shop where you'll find all of my books. You can get them signed and personalized, shipped anywhere in the world, as well as my products and product collaborations. You'll also find live event listings there. I do live events sometimes. And I'd love to see you come by. All right, see you later.